Moving on, big news for us as a group, as a show, the project. So we have been involved with the variant choosing for the last 3 years, right? We've been involved with the variant choosing at VRBPAC for the last 3 years. And this year is a really long way to go to the story, I guess. Basically, I kind of like put my flag in the ground after talking about it a lot on the show here that JN1, sticking with JN1 for the variant was the right way to go this year. I think that simplifies a lot of problems. They want to do an extra step of testing on seasonal vaccines specifically. And I'm not agreeing that this testing should be a requirement, but there's going to be some hoop put up, and it shouldn't inhibit vaccines right now. So going with JN1 is the right choice. And this was a little bit of like people I think were caught off guard because we're tracking LP81 and NB18 or whatever. Maybe I'm reversing those now, but it's NB and LP, with LP being a JN1, descendant, recombinant, whatever. And then the other one is two XBB recombinants with a JN1 recombinant that's just starting to pick up in low numbers. And so we're seeing that in a lot of places. That's not even on the radar. So what is the good news? The big win is the WHO came out and said basically the same thing today. They had their meeting about a week ago. We've been waiting. No one had any idea what they were going to say. We actually didn't know the meeting was a week ago, but it turns out they already had it, and they agreed. They think that the JN1 is the right way. They said either JN1 or KP2 is still suitable, and they also suggested, I believe it's LP81, as a suitable, thing. And they're really specific about saying monovalent, 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 because
that was the best part, in my opinion.
you like that?
They kept re-emphasizing that, yeah.
Right. At the last secretive VRBPAC, not VRBPAC meeting, Moderna was the only vaccine manufacturer for COVID that presented, and they presented saying how they were bringing back their bivalent, and how the bivalent tested XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And the WHO being like monovalent, monovalent, monovalent is, I think, a loud statement to that in general. Also, it doesn't make a lot of sense to choose LP subvariants that are later on, at least from my frame of reference, because
just another branch off the trunk.
Right, and there's a lot of immune evasion, and there's a lot of stuff coming in sideways, but most of them, if not all, are JN1. And I think the really fascinating thing is that data that we have, it's in my article that I published the other day, where you show the Sato Lab stuff. It shows that the JN1 vaccine elicits a strong response against XBB still. So even though the XBB vaccines didn't work well going forward to JN1, because they did actually hit their mutational grasp limit, the point is that the WHO agreed with our sentiment that we put forward here, and we're going to be hopefully able to present, hopefully, fingers crossed, we find out tomorrow, for VRBPAC to push this same agenda. And part of that is also going to be trying to switch the whole year around, because I think like there's a part of these guys, like, we're going to have to do something they want to do. They are in charge. I just think that like you got to come up with a plan that's something that they can do that will kind of, of course they can kill the project at any part of the process. But if we like drag through it, it could actually get us in a better place where we're treating COVID like a year-round thing instead of a seasonal one, because that just doesn't make any sense. I feel like that would be a major change. I think it needs to happen too, Terry. I think it's one of these things that like it has to happen eventually. So why not do it now?